Hello and welcome to Dishonored. This is a pointing episode, which is basically where I'm just going to be going through my books, reading off what I have. This one is going to be from books that I found in the later half of the bridge mission, the Coldwind Bridge. The mission after that, which was the Estate District, which is actually quite just there as well with the party. And then from what we've got so far from the Dunwall Tower. So this one's probably going to be called something like Parties and Paranoia, as that's the two things it sort of gets its influences from with the books. But let's begin, shall we, with the Estate District. Excerpt from a historical overview of the Estate District. Home to some of the most powerful families in Dunwall, the Estate District has been a jewel in the city's crown for generations. No district enjoys finer restaurants or culinary events, and no families inspire more admiration or more gossip than the lords and ladies of the Estate District. The late Lord Boyle and his lovely wife perhaps best epitomise the privileged class of citizens. Their annual costume ball is the talk of high society, creating ripples throughout Dunwall when one family or another is excluded from the guest list. But it's not all play that drives the Boyles. On several occasions they generously brought in poor labourers from elsewhere in the city for a week or two to work on the gardens or home, providing vital employment for those who need it most. With so much history, the Estate District has also seen its share of terrible trouble as fortunes are made and lost. The great Lord Preston Moray and his eccentric wife Vera were once the toast of Dunwall before tragedy struck and they fell into ruin. Riddled with canals and large homes that enjoy historical preservation tax breaks, the Estate District is a place to which we all aspire to. Cool. Right, so the next one is the Hungry Cosmos. Just cross it off my list. There we go, so go through. The Hungry Cosmos. Excerpt from a large work on the movement of the spheres by Anton Sokolov. Once the curtain has been lifted, it becomes inescapable that we inhabit a world adrift in a sea of howling chaos, a terrible maelstrom in which all heaving bodies orbit a devouring core. Though the trip couldn't take many thousands of lifetimes, all cosmic objects are eventually dragged into this hungry nexus of forever cease to be. Though they are moved by eddies in the celestial medium, stars offer guide points in the otherwise perilous blackness. Our own sun holds its planets close in our inexorable course towards oblivion, giving us life and warmth until the end. Okay, the next one is TIOS. Is that a book or note? So books, TIOS. Esma Boyle's diary. We've had the diaries. Oh, Havelock log entry 5. Is that it? No, that can't be it. Yeah, okay, I guess it is. It does not look like that on my list, but I guess that's the next one then. Although, to be fair, we probably had this one before. Havelock log entry 5. Teague Martin is now High Overseer. He was a clever one, and his ideas have taken us very far, considering where he comes from. He should be very pleased with himself. Now we can be assured that the Overseers will support our claims, whatever they may be. There is only one man now standing between us and complete control of the Empire, the Lord Regent, and soon find himself staring into that hideous mask of Corvos. Of that I have no doubt. But what happens after that? I think I've had that one before, but oh well, it's on the list. I've crossed it off. Sweet. Right. The Lighthouse. Excerpt from a recent historical work on King Sparrow Island. King Sparrow Island sits in the middle of the Wrenhaven River, and up through the previous century it was only used by fishermen and for occasion religious ceremonies. During the time of the Morley insurrection, a fort and naval dock were added to the island as a means of protecting the city from attacks by sea. In the time of the Rat Plague crisis shortly after the tragic death of Empress Jasmine Coldwin, Dunwall's acting regent Hiram Burrows commissioned the construction of a modernised military ice installation and lighthouse on the island. Burrows' lighthouse, only recently completed, is widely considered to be one of the marvels of the modern age, humming with Sokolov technologies powered by processed whale oil. Why do I feel like that might be the last level, even though we're trying to take out the last guy now anyway? Right, looting in recent months, which I swear we've read before, but we'll give it another go anyway. Excerpt from a letter found in an empty house at the edge of Rudshaw Financial District. The looting started in the warehouses. Once enough men took sick with the plague, the companies had to suspend operations. My husband... Yeah, we've had that before. I'm not reading that again. We've had that before. Overseer Chance. Do I need to read that? Oh, yeah. I do. Restrict an errant mind before it becomes fractious and divided. Can two enemies occupy the same body? No, for the first will detect it in one way, and the second another. That's actually one of the strictures. We read that before. What is all this stuff? Are there all these stuff on my... So I'm trying to keep up with my book as well. What I've written down. SBG, Sokolov's Bottle Street Gang, and then the Academy. Yeah, okay, cool. This is it then. The Academy of Natural Philosophy. Excerpt from an overview of the Academy. Squatting at the edge of Dunwall, the Academy of Natural Philosophy is an ancient educational institute, bustling with young students and old philosophers, alchemists, cosmologists, and vivisectionists. The best minds from across the Isle gather there to study all of nature, including the human corpus, the celestial heavens, and the physical universe. No one is allowed inside except esteemed members of and a few students accepted each year. After a long and arduous application process, those living nearby can only pride at the exotic shipments seen coming in from the river and passing through the black doors, or wrinkle their noses at the odd smells that emerge from the smokehouse atop. Royal Physician Anton Sokolov is currently head of the Academy. Why do I feel like that's also somewhere we will be going to later on? Like, what is going on here? Right, Slackjaw's Bottle Street Gang before we go on to some notes. Excerpt from a report on thuggish gang activities. Clovering Boulevard, leading to the office of the High Overseer, is still under tight control. The City Watch is stretched thin, but they have dedicated checkpoints on Clovering, with associated patrols. Additionally, there's been talk of erecting some of the new Sokolov security systems to protect the street, which is home to several persons of note, in addition to leading to several vital businesses. The adjacent streets are another matter. Bottle Street in particular, and the old Dunwall Whiskey Distillery are currently in control by Slackjaw and his Bottle Street gang. Not much is known about Sokolov except that he has been particularly active during the plague crisis. A part of his illegal business revolves around the distribution of anti-plague elixir. The Watch has been slow in cracking down on the opposition. See, now we can go to mission notes, which is here, written notes. So the first one should be... In fact, the first and the only one should be L-O-T-O-N. No, L-O-T-O. L-O-T-O. Oh, okay, yeah. Influences of the Outside. I was trying to work it out. Is this the very long one? Oh, I know there was a long one. That's quite long, actually. That might have been that one. Okay. Influences of the Outsider. Brother, with an anxious heart I respond to your letter, and the suspicion is true. I have grown misgivings about those presiding over Dunwall Tower. I have only recently resolved my disagreements with the Abbey, and it has come upon me as a surprise that some are lobbying for me to take up the mantle of High Overseer. But despite all that is going on, I hope to advise you personally to the matter. Last time you wrote, you suspected that the mute and who serves out as torturer within Dunwall Tower might be a follower of the Outsider. He has an odd countenance, his tongue is twisted, and he cannot speak, and a wolfhound follows him about. And add to this the incomprehensible groaning and the litany of repeated whispers you hear coming from the chambers at night, and it seems certain. At first I found it hard to believe. How could one I admire so, such as the Lord Regent, allow this to go unchecked within his own house? Surely he must respect the 7 strictures. But now I see the places arranged before me, I must tell you, it allies with a vision experienced by one of our sisters from the Ovraktor sect. Coming to me in the night, she spoke, silence inflicts pain, and a hound shadow follows the puppet of the Outsider. Your position at the tower has been of great use to our order, and there is no shame in reporting back to me. You are an overseer, first and foremost, and it is your sole duty to protect the world of men from the malevolent influence of the Outsider. Tell no others of this, and await my instructions. I must wonder how high up in Dunwall Tower this corruption has spread. From Overseer Martin. Cool, alright, that's it then. So 10 minutes of pointing, not too bad then. If you can't remember what we were doing in the adventure last time, we were in Dunwall Tower taking stuff out silently and getting our way through to the end. But obviously we'll finish that off in the next adventure. So I'll see you in the normal places where we'll continue on with the adventure of the story and everything like that. Farewell.